So this is my summary of the week for the first 7 days. I started the public weigh-in on April 1st, 2025, and on my two scales that I've shown on a prior video. And I keep swapping them, so I'm not sure if it's the same scale, but I'm writing down two numbers. 191.4 and 190.4 was the readings that I got. So I went with the highest weight, which I think I'm going from the highest weight and then subtracting from the lowest weight. That's kind of like cheating, isn't it? But anyway, oh well. And then proceeded today where the weight was 188.8 and 188.2. So I know it's gone down, and I put down like 1.2, but looking at the math, maybe I did it wrong. It doesn't matter. It's going down, even though it had went a little bit up from yesterday, which is to be expected because weight isn't going to keep going down. People need to understand that our bodies are designed to try to level off and go down and level off and go down. Can you imagine? We would just waste away, if we didn't have food or whatever, And I always think of those Chilean miners, those 30-something guys that were trapped for quite a long time. And I saw the story where they had so much tuna fish, a tablespoon a day and all that. And yes, they were very thin, but they didn't just, can you imagine? Die of starvation. Anyway, so that's that. And unlike what I would normally be doing if I went to a meeting and they're like, oh, okay, you lost 1 point whatever pounds. Yay, I lost or stay the same. That was always a success. I would be going out to eat. Yes, I would be going out to eat to stuff and puff and then get back on track tomorrow. That kind of behavior that I know I can't be alone with that behavior. It is very kind of self-sabotaging. I realize that, or, when you go on a binge because you have been whatever, but I have not been going without food. I have been going without sweets. And it started before April 1st. And this whole thing started before April 1st. If I would have started it the first day that, I decided I am not eating like this anymore, and I've said that before, in my life, different generations, it's brain fog. You lose weight and you don't get sugar and you're eliminating all those unhealthy foods that kept your brain working. Decades of excuses of weight loss. But anyway, what's my excuse now? I am not a student in college where, I have to make sure I eat, whenever I could and make sure I don't go hungry and that my brain's working to take tests and do the work. And it's not because I'm working and I need all that energy. And, there was all that food in those restaurants. And my God, people, left, wrong orders were made and everybody would nibble on them. And those pies that they had and those desserts, you could kind of, all right, yeah, I did take some and I ate some in those different places. And then the hospital I worked in. And, when people give the staff boxes of See's candy and it's a little paper, little wrappers. And I work around people that had little knives and they would cut their piece in half. Not me. 2, 3, 4. I can do it. Was I the only one doing that? I felt like they were able to ration that dang chocolate. I could have ate the whole box, but I felt like that would be very greedy. But so I just stay away from it. And this goes way back, just a lot of stuff. And then they had, oh my God, a cafeteria downstairs that sold cheesecake. Oh yeah, let's have cheesecake for lunch. Let's just eat a cheesecake for lunch and add it with hot Cheetos. Okay. Anyway, so I am making better choices and I know how to make better choices. I do. If you notice my eyes move around a lot when they do that, it's because I have, it's a name of a lazy eye condition and it's me trying to keep straight, to try to look straight and I can see I'm struggling. And that's what it's doing. My eyes are trying to balance and, look. So But you can't do that. But you can't make your eyes do that. I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay. I'm not, I did Google it. I did Google it because I was getting anxiety. Like, why are my eyes moving? Like, what disease is this? My eyes move around. And then it was like, could be one of this whole list of stuff. And one of them was, I had that. I know I have that. I had surgery on that to keep the eyes straight, to keep them from going like that or that. See, I can control it. But anyway, so if you'd like to join me for my daily life, and I have a daily weigh-in, and watch how my weight is like this, but it's doing well, and I'm not trying to be a skinny mini or a one of those kind, that's just not, whatever. I'm not very tall, but yeah, 188.8 or 188.2, but I'm in the 188s. I have been in my life in the 200s and know what the wonderlands are. I know all about various programs, and I'm not promoting any type of program or anything. It's just that I do know many of us have been on many programs, and I do know we know what we're supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to eat. I know a lot about nutrition. I'm not a dietitian. I know what makes me feel good, body wise, but then I know what makes me feel good when I'm upset, No salad makes me feel good here, it's cookies. It's cookies, but no more cookies. I'm not going to, and I know that like people will say, well, if you abstain from something, then you're going to gobble it all up. But I've tried that, where, okay, I've abstained, and then I've gotten it and I've gobbled it all up, and then I continue the next day gobbling it up. It's like I can never get enough sugar. So then I started thinking, and I know that sugar is an addiction. I know it. So it's like, and I know that people, if they think, oh, you're eliminating sugar, that's crazy. But I'm not really eliminating sugar. I am eliminating like cakes and cookies and donuts and Twinkies and Ho-Hos and Snowballs and M&Ms and Snicker bars and Three Musketeers, that kind of stuff. Do they still have Three Musketeers? I used to like them. But Milky Ways, peppermint patties. I would buy stuff like a big candy bar with the intention of eating, like, I will ration it and use self-control and eat a little square. Yeah. And then, the big candy bar, and they make even a bigger big candy bar. Hershey does. Yep. I've eaten it. All. Like at once, not like rationing. So, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I've heard people say this before, for whatever reason, and I'm very grateful, I have not had heavy duty cravings, but I think it's because I have had like sweet potatoes and put just a little bit of sugar-free syrup, just a little bit. And I've had, and I've used cinnamon, and stuff. And to me, that has like kind of a sweetish taste. And, I don't drink any, sodas or diet sodas and stuff like that, but it's like whatever works for you. I know that, there's people out there like, oh no, don't take any of the sugar-free stuff. It's terrible, horrible. Or no, don't eat this, don't eat that. I think we all need to eat and do what we know makes us feel better. And I'm still trying to find that. I'm trying to feel better. So I have, as I have said before, recently eliminated wheat and the stuff that might be connected with celiacs. I'm not diagnosed with celiacs, but a close family member has been. And I never knew that you could be any age and diagnosed with that. I thought it was something you're like born with kind of, and then you find out at some point in time. But maybe that's not the case. And I know that I've had similar digestive issues as this person. So anyway, I'm just going to do it. And so I've done that. And so that started before this April 1st. I had started a few days before that. And really what was amazing when I started, but I have no proof, I was like 199, 200 pounds. And I actually do have, I might have some proof of that. Not that, if it ever comes to it. I had a doctor's appointment. I actually had to step on the scale. And then had blood work done, and all the blood work came back good. So it wasn't like, oh my God, I got to change something. But I know at 61 years old, continuing on this pace of binging on sweets is not, it's not a healthy way to live. So anyway, if you relate or just want to hear my story, subscribe, join, follow along. Maybe we can support each other, try doing the same thing. I am doing the daily weigh-in because I know tomorrow I'm going to step on the scale. So I'm not going to, when my husband comes home, say, oh, I had my weigh-in today and today's my eat day. I've done that forever on any program I was. Today I get to eat whatever I want, or, I never used the extra points or bonus points the way they were supposed to be used, or the extra whatever earned points, but so I think it all worked out in the end anyway, when you're calculating stuff. I'm not trying to name the name particularly of the program I'm talking about right now, because I'm going into too much detail, that I do think is one of the best programs out there, to be honest. And you'll hear me talking about other stuff, but I did not do the program. I modified it. I always modified it from the start. In the many programs, I always made my own version, and my own version meant 1 to 2 days of really stuffing myself, and then a day of hardly eating, and then following it, and I'd have a loss, but I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good those days I stuffed myself, and it was like, why did I stuff myself? So I compare it to, people who have drinking and drug problems. I don't believe they're out there trying to feel crappy. It's an addiction, and it's like, it's a bigger, symptom of something else. You're trying to make yourself feel good, hit those dopamine receptors, something. But I've been eating, and I look forward to my breakfast now. I'm not waking up feeling like, oh, I feel full because I ate that pack of Oreos. And then I decided to go to Carl's Jr. and get a cheeseburger and fries because it sent me down a slippery slope of hot fudge sundaes and whipped cream and nuts. It's just all nuts, But anyway, have a good day. And I will be doing lives eventually again. I was doing them every night, but it was kind of interfering with my time with my husband, because I like to get my butt kicked in backgammon, and I told him that, and he's like, you win a lot too, Laura. Well, I played 2 games last night, 2 games, and lost terribly, but maybe tonight. But it is our time. We don't have a whole lot of time together because he works a lot, and I thought I picked a really bad time. And then but maybe in the morning times or at certain times of the day if I'm gardening, I really do find it supportive to go live while I'm out there, like gardening, or if I'm going for a walk, because I feel like it's almost like it's watching what I'm doing. So if that big jumbo spider comes out, I got a record of it or something. And I could say, see, I saw the biggest bug in the garden I never, ever thought I saw. And then it's like, if I'm telling somebody that, I have no proof, where if I do it on live, maybe I can capture it, because that did happen. The other day I was out in the yard and a huge spider climbed out from under a rock. And then these other wiggly things that are under rocks, I don't know what they are. They look like mini snakes. They're like this big. It's going to look big, but they're like, maybe 2 inches long, 3 inches long, and they move like a snake. And I lift up these big rocks and they're under it, and it's like, but anyway, yeah, I ramble. Do you ramble? Come and ramble with me. You can ramble in your words. You can put comments. You can write paragraphs in my comments. I would love it. I would love to read stuff. All right. Bye-bye.